Hi, hello, and welcome to video lecture number 2 for the solutions unit. We are going to start off this video by talking about molarity. So molarity is another way to describe the concentration of a solution. And the definition of molarity is the number of moles of solute per liter of solution. Remember that a solute is the item or substance being dissolved, okay? A solvent is going to be the substance that is doing the dissolving, and a solute plus a solvent is going to give us a solution. So molarity we can abbreviate with a capital M, and the equation here, which you might want to write down, is equal to moles of solute, which is abbreviated with an N, divided by liters of solution, which is abbreviated with a V. So molarity equals moles of solute divided by liters of solution. So again, molarity is kind of like concentration. Okay, it's just kind of another word for it, a synonym. The more moles of solute in a volume of solution will give us a higher molarity, which is equal to saying it has a higher concentration. Okay, so a higher molarity is basically the same as saying it has a higher concentration of solute in solution. The unit for molarity is going to be molar, and that is also abbreviated with a capital M. Technically, molarity is abbreviated with an italicized capital M, but when you guys write it and in Google Forms, I cannot italicize them, so we're just going to keep them both as M. Now, another way to write that equation is in a triangle form like this. If you had physical science with me last year, you know how to kind of navigate this triangle. For those of you who don't know how, I'm going to kind of quickly run through it. So remember that the capital M stands for molarity, N is for moles of solute, and V is for liters of solution. Now this horizontal line that separates the N from the M and the V is going to represent division, okay? And the vertical line that separates the M and the V is going to be equal or represent multiplication, okay? And I'm going to run through how to use this in some problems based on what you are trying to solve for. So let's say that we have a problem and we are given moles of solute, which is equal to N, and liters of solution, which is equal to V, and we are asked to find the molarity of that solution. Now the trick is, with your hand, you cover up what you are trying to find. So I'm going to cover up the M because that is what I'm trying to find, and I am left with my given values, N and V. Now because they are separated by that horizontal line, I know that N divided by V is going to give me my molarity. Okay, so that is the first of the three options when it comes to this triangle. Let's say now we have a problem where we are given moles of solute, which is N, and molarity, which is M. And we are asked to find liters of solution, which in this case is V. So to figure out the equation to use, we are going to use our hand and we cover up what we are trying to find. In this case, we are going to cover up the V. Now we're left with our givens, or our known values, N and M. They are separated by that horizontal line. So that means that in order to calculate the liters of solution, I am going to divide my moles of solute, N, by my molarity, M. Okay, and then you would just literally plug the numbers in and type it into your calculator. The last option Let's say that we are given molarity, which is M, and liters of solution, which is V, and we are asked to find moles of solute, which is N. We would again use our hand to cover up what we are trying to find, so we are going to use our hand to cover the N. We are left with M and V, which are the two values that we are given, and these are now separated by that vertical line, and remember that vertical line represents multiplication. So to determine the moles of solute, or N, we are going to multiply the molarity by the liters of solution, or M times V. Okay, so that is the way that you use this triangle to determine the equation that you are going to use, depending on the unknown or what you are trying to calculate. Let's try a practice problem. What is the molarity of a solution containing 17.5 moles of silver chloride in 4.0 liters of solution? Now here's my triangle. I'm going to look at what it is I need to find. So it's asking me, what is the molarity of the solution? So molarity is the capital M, so I cover up the capital M. So I know if I divide moles of solute by liters of solution, I will calculate the molarity of the solution. So I'm going to start by writing out my molarity is equal to N over V. So that's the equation that I'm going to use. Next, I'm going to plug the numbers from the problem into my equation. So the 17.5 moles will go in for N, and the 4 liters will go in as V. So now M, my molarity, is going to be equal to 17.5 moles of solute divided by 4.0 liters of solution. Now I just have to plug and chug. When you plug this into your calculator, you should get an answer where the molarity is equal to 4.375, and the unit would be a capital M for molar. Let's try a practice problem. How many moles of sodium chloride would 1.25 liters of 0.50 molar solution contain? So again, we need to figure out what are we asked to find. In this case, we're asked to find how many moles of sodium chloride are in the solution. That is equal to N. So I'm going to cover up the N with my hand. I'm left with M and V. This vertical line here means multiply. So my equation is going to be N equals M times V. So I'm going to write that out first. Next, I'm going to go through the problem and I'm going to put numbers into this equation. So this 1.25 liters is equal to V, and this 0.50 molar is equal to my M. So N is equal to my molarity, which is 0.50 molar, times my volume, which is 1.25 liters. Next, I plug that into my calculator, 0.5 times 1.25, and I find that the number of moles of solute comes out to 0.625 moles. And that's my answer. Let's try a practice problem. A 1.5 molar solution contains 4.95 moles of magnesium bromide. How many liters of solution do I have? Our unknown is liters of solution. We know that to be V. So I'm going to cover the V up on my triangle. The equation that I'm going to use then is V equals N divided by M. So I'm going to write that out first. V equals N over M. Next, I'm going to find my known values and plug them into my equation. So V equals, my N is the 4.95 because it's moles of solute, and my M is the 1.5 molar. So my top number is 4.95 moles. My bottom number is 1.5 M. Next, you just have to plug this into your calculator. So you do 4.95 divided by 1.5, and you should get a volume of 3.3 liters of solution.